I did not think that Akudama Drive was capable of having an episode this good. What is up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so go hit that button. I'd appreciate it. Over the course of these first 6 episodes, Akudama Drive has gone from a show that I thought was interesting, has some potential, it could be something, to then becoming a show that I think is legitimately pretty good. But episode 6. This episode was so fucking good. This kind of episode, I did not think this show was capable of. And it wasn't even the action that made this episode so great. It was the emotional weight behind that action. And that's what I did not think Akudama Drive was capable of. If you had told me after episode 4, and I thought episode 4 was a pretty good episode, that we would get an episode this good out of this anime, I probably would not have believed you at that point. But I am happy I was wrong, because man, if Akudama Drive can give us more episodes of this caliber, it'll be in the contention for one of the better shows of this year. Like, episode 6 of Akudama Drive is not quite as good as episode 4 of Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's not far behind. And if you've seen any of my videos on Jujutsu Kaisen, that is very high praise coming from me. That fight between the Executioner and Brawler, man, I don't even mind that we got the cliche battle to the death in the rain kind of setting, because it was just that good. Like, you had the Executioner fighting to regain his honor because he failed on his missions, and you have Brawler fighting because Brawler just likes to fight. That's just what he does. And it made for a very, very climactic scene, and an oddly climactic scene, given we're only on episode 6. The way the episode felt and the weight behind it would make you think this was like the season finale or the ending of an arc or something like that. But no, we have a lot more of this show to go. And to have a fight scene that felt so climactic, while to an extent out of place, also I think is what made the episode feel like so great. Because it seemed like you had the culmination of all these things happening in this episode, which we kind of did. We had the culmination of that particular Executioner following Akudama around come to a head in this episode, but it is not the ending of the story of what the Akudama are trying to do. It was just the ending of the story of that particular Executioner trying to execute the Akudama. And that, I think that's why it felt so climactic, and that's why the fight has such an emotional weight behind it, because he was fighting for something, and we learned more about the Executioners and how they are more prone to fighting to their death, because without their subordinates, they don't really have anything to care about. But it's kind of a fucked up reason to how they structured the Executioners and how they work in pairs. You make them work in pairs so you give them something to live for or fight for that's not themselves. It makes them less prone to fighting to the death, which I mean, it makes sense. Doesn't make it any less messed up, but it does make sense. I have to apologize to Hoodlum. I said in a previous video that it was obvious that Hoodlum was just using Brawler, and he was, really just a coward and all that kind of stuff. And that's not necessarily untrue. He was using Brawler, and the guy is a coward. But it is obvious from the way he reacted to Brawler seemingly dying. I don't want to say that Brawler's dead yet, because we don't know for sure. But from the way he reacted to Brawler seemingly being dead, it's obvious that Hoodlum cared about Brawler. It was obvious that they had formed a bond and that there was something there between them. And so I got to give Hoodlum credit. Despite him being the coward that he is, he still picked up the energy sword and went to attack the Executioner subordinate. So being around Brawler has had rubbed off on Hoodlum. He has changed somewhat. And so that shows us that the Akudama are not irredeemable people. They can change. They can, I don't want to say become better, because I don't know if I would say Hoodlum became better, because caring about Brawler doesn't necessarily make you a better person. But they can change. They are not static. So they are not completely irredeemable. Props to the Executioner for being a goddamn tank. That dude came in single-handedly just wrecking shop. He by himself took on all of the Akudama and was holding his own despite not even being fully recovered from the fight on the train. That guy took out Brawler like it was nothing in the beginning and was just going ham on everyone else. You gotta respect that. Like, if he is that powerful, is he just one of the stronger Executioners, or are all like senior Executioners just as strong as he is? Not necessarily the subordinates like his, but the other Executioners on his level, are they also just as strong as he is? Because if they are, that does not bode well at all for the Akudama in whatever road they're going to go down in the future. Because if he was able to do all that against them, and there are more who may be just as powerful, if not even more powerful, and they've already seemingly lost Brawler, how are they going to manage if they have to fight a bunch of, not even a bunch of executioners, just like maybe 2 or 3 executioners who are just as powerful as this one? They're not going to be able to do it. Unless maybe the Akudama have another level to their powers that they're not unleashing or something like that. I don't like their chances at all. Swindler better watch out with confronting Cutthroat, man. That dude is seriously unhinged, and his obsession with her might turn violent very quickly. Like, she's walked up and slapped the dude in the face and called him despicable. And yeah, since he's so obsessed with her, he might be able to take that criticism and be okay. Or the dude can just snap and kill her, because Swindler does not have the ability to defend herself from him. If he decides she's dead, then she's just dead. Because I think, if I had to guess, I would say that Cutthroat is probably the most powerful of the Akudama, especially now that Brawler's dead. But even before Brawler, I would think, just from what we've seen him fighting the Executioners, I would say he's probably the strongest Akudama we've seen so far. So yeah, if he decides she's dead, I don't know who's gonna save her, especially with how quick he is with those knives and how ruthless he is when he fights. Yeah, she might want to think twice before you walk up and just slap some dude who is not only way more powerful than you, but also just demented and unhinged. Probably not the smartest course of action. I am probably going to watch this episode over a few more times because it was just that good. Akudama Drive has been steadily trending upwards pretty much from the beginning. The first episode and second episode, a little better. From then on, it's just steadily gotten better and better until episode 6 was just amazing. So if it keeps this upward trend, how great can episode 7 be? Like, I doubt that episode 7 is going to be as good as episode 6, because episode 6 was just so good that the chances of the next episode being just as good or better are pretty slim. But so it doesn't have to be as good as episode 6. It can just also continue the story in a way that progresses it to where we can get more episodes like episode 6, and that'll be good enough for me. So I do look forward to seeing just how good this show can become, because like I said, if episodes like episode 6 become the norm, this will be in contention for, a top 10 or top 5 or whatever anime of the year, in my opinion. Now, I don't think that's very likely, but I'm just saying, if we can get a lot more episodes of this caliber, that will definitely be the discussion. Alright guys, that's all I have for you on this one. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, and also hit me up in the comments. I respond to almost everything. If you didn't like the video, again, hit me up in the comments so we can talk about it. If you are so inclined to subscribe, I would appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.